Yeah.
I know that feeling. Back when I was working for a living. Any more questions? We're still doing technical things, people. Be patient with us.
No, we're fine. I'm TikTok.
You're just
guys
gonna
can
have to have this set up and like permanently here.
Mhm.
Right. I can see that. Mhm.
I know.
We have a studio.
Yeah.
Make a studio in one of the many other rooms.
That's what people do.
Yeah.
Well,
So
some
much
of them
People who
easier.
stream regularly,
every
they just have
day,
a
they
studio.
have a studio. They have a room that they designate.
The interesting thing is that TikTok doesn't allow APIs. So
Mhm.
basically you can't have any third-party apps through TikTok. So a lot of people that go live on TikTok, like you basically have to do it the setup that I'm doing it, which is on a phone.
Wow.
So everyone else can use like third-party programs like
Yeah.
Restream.
Yep.
And
StreamYard.
yeah, and then they can go on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram,
But not
and
TikTok.
YouTube, but not TikTok.
Hmm.
So for us to do both, that's why it has to be two completely separate setups, which is
Just
the
running
pain.
simultaneously.
Yeah, and that's why I'm always like finagling with my phone, because obviously if we had like a camera, like a really nice camera, it would be
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
better.
And I want one of the mics like some of the YouTubers have. They're like honking great things. Where I've got
With a big boom. That
Yeah, big boom, and they've got this big thing, and they're talking into
I
it.
mean, you have enough space in this house. We could set it up. Just saying.
And then the zebra
I was
story.
gonna say, you need to keep the zebra there in the background.
Yeah, somebody was buying a zebra last time.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Melinda
You
sent me
could
this
buy
ad. I
one.
could buy
There's
a real
one
live zebra.
available.
I would buy that zebra if he was mounted on wheels. I'm not buying the live zebra. I like my zebras
How much are they?
like this or
I
that.
thought
Like
you'd
that
run
Colt.
across
I
them
don't
in your
know.
travels or something.
No.
Many, many, many years ago, when Erin Sweeney worked for me, she found a zebra donkey cross.
Oh yeah.
And it was at the Orange Livestock Market, and he wanted $3,500 for it. But it didn't have any stripes. I'm like,
And what's the point?
what's the point?
It's a cross.
What would you do with it?
Hybrid
Did it
animal.
do anything?
Nothing.
No.
A donkey zebra
It's
cross.
just fan because it's a
Zebra.
donkey zebra
Sus
cross.
has a question. Actually, we have a couple questions. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah, interrupting our talk. Ruby.
Since no one's asking much, do you have recommendations for nutrition for mares that are nursing?
Yeah, as much as you can get in them, usually. Mares that are nursing, this is the highest nutritional demand the mare will ever face in her life. So you're going to have to feed it. And I would go with high quality protein, high fat, plenty of top quality hay. The hardest thing can be to keep the weight on mares that are nursing. So depending on the body weight of the mare, if the mare is the slightest bit lean or skinny, start pumping the food down. Now you can start to tail it off as the milk production decreases, but usually that's your chance to get some weight back on the mare, and therefore you don't tail it off. You let the milk supply go down and wean the foal and keep her on it for another few weeks so that she gains some weight back. Because if the mare is in too low a body score, she may not get rebred. So if you have brood mares that are
get bred every year, you want to have as much body condition in that mare coming into lactation as you can so that she gets rebred. Mares that are too low in body score, they don't get pregnant again. So, feed them well, feed them well.
It's working on YouTube.
It's working on YouTube, but we don't know about,
Anyway,
it is working
back
on
to the price of zebras.
Okay, now we have more questions. VG asks, my horse is struggling with seasonal allergies. They are getting worse every year. Do you have any favorite supplements?
Oh, allergies are really not handled with supplements. I mean, you can feed Immubal, which is a supplement that Foxden Equine makes for regulation of the immune system, but I'm not going to give you any promises on how effective it is. It helps in some cases. The main thing you will do with seasonal allergies is look into either removing the allergen from the environment you're in, if you can, or prednisone. Talk to your vet. A horse may need some systemic steroids. You be careful with steroids in
Yeah, I was
horses
just gonna
because
say that.
it will lead to founder if you overdose. But prednisone is safer than dexamethasone. And if it's a topical allergy like a sweet itch, you can put an antihistamine cream on, which is much safer. But if it's seasonal allergies like sneezing and coughing and wheezing, Sometimes steaming the hay, soaking the hay, which is usually the main source of the allergens, is the way to do it. Hope that helps.
A much better approach coming from a nutritionist.
All
You
right.
have your little clasps on the side.
Yeah, on
It's
the
supposed
side.
to
Oh,
be.
you want it?
Supposed to be on the side. So we're discussing jewelry, zebras, you name it. You know, this is wide open.
We've
this
had a
discussion.
glass of grape juice.
We had a glass of grape juice.
Kaylee is saying, thank you for the advice for the miniature foal who was weaned much too soon. He is doing better.
Good, I'm glad.
And VNR says, happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm another year older. We will not admit what the number is.
You're 29.
29 again. Yeah, I might admit to 30. But yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I got a bottle of grape juice for my birthday and
Oh,
drinking
was
it.
it good?
Yeah, we're drinking it.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. Well, no, this one was actually a different one, but I got another bottle, a different bottle. I will drink it.
It's good.
My staff are not allowed to buy me Christmas presents, so they birthday or Christmas presents, so they buy me a consumable because they know that will probably get consumed. Yeah, there's not to buy me any things. I don't need stuff. I've got too much stuff already. But wine is always acceptable. So yeah, the zebra, the zedonk at the Orange livestock market was less expensive than this zebra was.
Short term.
Short term, right?
Yeah.
In the long term.
Well, I only had to pay for him once. He doesn't have vet bills.
Right, right.
He
How
doesn't
much
need
does
any
this
more.
one weigh?
You know, I don't know, but he's probably 300 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, he's
Pretty
he's
solid.
fiberglass, but he's pretty solid and heavy. What weighs the most is a base.
Oh, solid oak.
Solid oak, yeah. And he's reinforced, so you can sit on him. Not that we ever have, but so the reinforcing is heavy. is heavy because it's steel.
Nobody has ever like had too much of your consumable and got on or anything?
No adults. I've
No.
had a couple of kids try to get on him. One little girl pulled a chair up and climbed on. I said to her, you know, if you like riding, I've got a live thing down at the barn you can ride.
With no questions. Have you learned anything recently during your research that you do?
My research about how to feed horses on a worldwide basis. We will be making a series of videos about feeding horses in other parts of the world. The most interesting thing I learned was how to use Chat GPT, because I cheated and I used Chat GPT because I've never used it before and I wanted to see what it was like. And here was a question I could ask it. And I have to say it was interesting. It was useful, not as impressive as I thought it might be. You know, it's a little disappointing on some stuff. A couple of things it was dead wrong on, and a couple of things I was just like, no, that ain't going to be the way to do it. But it was interesting. I learned how to use Chat GPT.
I used it for the first time like a month or so ago because
Oh.
a friend of mine said she used Chat GPT to plan her trip to Iceland. And she's like, oh, yeah, you should really use it. She told me that it was great and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm doing this trip to Norway. So I put into Chat GPT, like what should be like the major hikes that we do and that kind of stuff. And it told me all the stuff that I already knew from researching that area. So I didn't find it to be helpful at all. It
Well,
was
the thing that would be useful, the thing that was useful about it was it gave me a skeleton. It divided the world up neatly into regions, and it gave me some guidelines as to, okay, I could do this region, and this region. But the details, yeah, I already knew what it was telling me. And some of my research has obviously been a little more deeper than Chat GPT's was, but it was interesting. It was quick. I have
Yeah.
to tell you.
Oh, yeah, it pulls
couple of
up
minutes,
results in,
boom,
like,
pulled up results.
I mean, but all it does
seconds.
is basically
Scrape-
give you
it just
what's already
regurg-
out on
Right,
Oh
the
yeah,
yeah.
scrapes the net, and it's already information's already out there.
yeah.
But if you had done no research, if you had done no preliminary work at all, it would get you started, and that could be useful.
So what kind of grasses do you find out about in other parts of the world that you hadn't really thought
Well,
about for a while?
Well, one of the big ones that amazes me is, you know, in Africa, where the feeding horses in Africa is interesting. It's fundamentally forages because most of the grains in Africa are fed to humans because there's usually a shortage. Teff And there was another grass from Ethiopia that is used extensively. But most feeding of horses in Africa is based on forages. Most feeding everywhere in the world is based on forages. It's just there are different grasses depending what part of the world you're in. Napier grass if you're in Indonesia. Some of the grasses in Australia are different. So horses obviously are versatile. The thing that's most interesting is the use of the agricultural byproducts, because it depends what they're producing in that country. So like sugarcane tops in Brazil and in parts of the world where sugarcane grows.
Don't we produce sugarcane here?
We do in some parts of Florida and
Florida.
Louisiana,
Yeah.
don't we? Do Louisiana produce
Yeah, I
sugarcane?
mean, that's how we get sugar beet pulp, right?
No, sugar beet pulp comes from sugar beets. Sugar cane is a grass.
Oh, yeah. No, we
Oh.
produce sugarcane in Florida.
Yeah,
Yes, there's sugar cane in
it's-
Florida, and I believe there's sugar cane in some parts of Louisiana, but I'm not sure about that.
But we don't make the top.
But we don't, well, the tops are not used for animal feeding. The sad truth is it's not particularly good nutrition, and we're wealthy enough that our horses eat better. But in some parts of the world where there's no alternative, that's what they get.
Okay.
A lot of rice byproducts in some parts of the world, and then fruit, nuts, that kind of thing.
What's the difference between, I mean, so just cane sugar, like when people are trying to do more of a healthy approach, you'll see on their bottling and whatnot.
Cane sugar, it's
Cane
just a
sugar.
marketing bullshit. Glucose, sucrose is sucrose. It's a combination of glucose and fructose. It's a sugar produced by plants as part of their metabolism. If they're a C4 grass, they produce sucrose. If they're a C5 grass, they produce fructose. So you get the sucrose is in all plants, and then it's extracted by various means. Some plants accumulate more, and then we extract it and call it sugar. Now, there's some belief that the sugar that comes from sugar cane is better, purer, whatever, and so they'll put cane sugar because it's come from sugar cane. It's still sucrose. The sugar that comes from sugar beet pulp, sugar beet, is just fine. It's also sucrose. So yeah, there's no real gain for cane sugar, though some would have you believe does. You know. Now there is a difference, for example, between the sucrose you get from sugar cane and sugar beet pulp, sugar beet, and the high fructose cane syrup, corn syrup that you get from corn, because that has a much higher level of fructose in it because corn is a C5 grass. So it's not, that is different. That is nutritionally quite different from sucrose.
Which one is the more addictive one that we were recently talking about? Sucrose?
Well, all
or
sugar's addictive. Both of them are addictive. The one that causes more metabolic problems is a high fructose corn syrup.
Okay.
Too much fructose is a problem for the body to cope with. Now, high fructose corn syrup is a relative term. It's just higher in fructose than cane sugar or beet sugar. It's not that high in fructose. And it certainly hasn't killed anybody yet. But it is not considered as desirable. And addictiveness, I mean, all sugar is addictive. That's just the nature of sugar, that you want more.
You have a question?
Oh, question.
Nicole asks, I have a 34-year-old Arab Morgan. Her teeth are decent, but we can't get her to gain weight. She gets hay all day and soaked alfalfa cubes, beet pulp, rice bran, flax, and full mineral pellets. They're in Vancouver Island in British Columbia.
I would feed this you're feeding, and I would add some whey protein. Get onto purebulk.com and get the 80%, I think it's 80% isolate, whatever the 80% is, and give them about 20 to 40 grams, which is a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons a day. The high quality protein in the whey protein might make the difference for him gaining the weight. It's very often a protein issue in these older guys. Their GI tracts are just not functioning as well as they did when the horse was younger. So you have to feed a more digestible form of some things. And protein is one of the things. That diet you're feeding is got plenty of crude protein in it, but it's not very high in protein quality. So I would say add whey protein and see, and I think you'll see a difference.
Would it change anything the way like what kind of hay she feeds too, or not so much?
I would go for the best quality hay she can get. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the quality of the hay makes a difference. So yeah, go for second cutting, good quality grass hay. You're in Vancouver Island, you should get some good grass hay there.
Awesome, thank you. Love watching your videos. Have her hay tested every year.
Yeah, that's good. That's always good. I don't. So I approve of anyone who does.
Kendall
My fruit
asks,
juice.
if I feed alfalfa pellets, senior feed, and flaxseed, should I also be feeding a balancer?
Depends the proportions you're feeding. If you've got senior pellet, senior feed, and any if it's more than 50% senior feed, no, because the senior feed has minerals and vitamins in it. If it's less than 30%, probably yes. So it depends how much you're feeding.
Has there been any increase in the monitoring of the quality of the pellets? Because at some point in time,
Depends who you buy it from.
That's what I meant. Like, are they looking into that? Because, at some point in time,
Some
they
do.
looked at like how much of that pellet was
digested and how much was
was it a true alfalfa pellet? Was it a blend of the
right.
leftover sawdust on the floor?
It's always worthwhile buying your pellets from the best quality feed source you can find. And a lot depends where you are in the country. But in most animal feeds, don't go with the cheapest. Yeah, you don't want something that's got a lot of sawdust in it. So yeah. Floor sweepings, right. But good, Neutrina, Purina, Triple Crown, all of those guys, they make good stuff. They do never make a poor feed if they can help it. If they do, it's accidental. Any more questions? Or we'll just keep talking about stuff, zebras and other important things. Now there's an animal that's tough and good, good digestion. Zebras. They can live off the
well, they're kind of like donkeys.
Right. They have to survive on what they can get. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're very good keepers, easy keepers.
She said digestion. I started to make a joke. I mean, really, and then I thought, I better not say this.
Yeah. Jackie Ray asks, what's your thoughts on total equine feed?
I try not to talk about commercial feeds. I don't have much experience with total equine. I'm sure they're good. I'm sure they do the best job they can. I don't personally know their nutritionist, so I really have no input for you. Sorry. I'm sure they're doing their best. I mean, understand that no feed company deliberately makes a bad feed. They will make a feed that's more or less expensive because a lot of customers judge by price. And there's plenty of people for whom an extra $5 on a bag of feed, they won't buy it. So they try to make the feed the best value for money that they can. And sometimes that means they use cheaper ingredients. And the cheaper ingredients may not be as good quality as the more expensive ingredients. But the feed ends up cheaper. So, judging by price is one way to do it, but also go by reputation and what have you. The big feed companies never make a bad feed if they can possibly help it.
What do you think of local feeds, like at the local mill?
That is more problematic. The local mill, because it depends on how good the formula was that somebody made for them. And they're not necessarily nutritionists, and they do a least cost formulation, and it depends what the spot market price of the various ingredients are. And they may end up putting more soybean meal or more alfalfa, depending which one's least expensive this week or this month or whenever they're making the feed. And that can make a difference nutritionally.
So it could even change like month to month.
Oh, yeah. Well, batch to batch.
Oh, yeah.
So it depends how much they sell. If they make a feed once a month, then each time they make a batch of feed, it could be a little different. And that's the value of going with the big guys, is that they are consistent. They do the same product every time.
So if you were going to go with like a local mill, then you would recommend something that's more like their oats, for example.
Yeah, I would personally, with a local mill, I would just buy straight grains and a mineral balancer pellet from someone like Triple Crown.
Yeah, add salt and minerals.
Add salt and minerals.
What straight grains would you recommend generally?
Of course, oats. Oats are the number one grain for horses. Now, here's the thing with oats. Oats are high in fiber. They are relatively lower in starch and sugar than the other grains, not than hay, all right? Of the grains, oats are the best. They're the safest. They have the seed coat. They don't pack. They don't make solid clumps of cereal. They slip past each other, and so they're safer. They're not quite as digestible as the corn, but the corn has other issues with it. So my first choice is, if you're going to feed a straight grain, is oats. I would still say you're probably best to go with a commercial feed because it's been balanced for you and it's got the vitamins and the minerals you need. But if you want to go with straight grains and you want to go with local mills, make sure you use one good vitamin mineral balancer pet.
Okay, you can talk about zebras.
Zebras, back to zebras again. All right. Philip's getting a refreshing drink. So are we on YouTube as well? Is there anybody watching us on YouTube? No, YouTube.
No,
Come on.
We
We
just don't
need
have
to.
a YouTube audience
We
yet.
don't have an audience yet. Some of you on TikTok, go
It'll
on
come in the
YouTube.
wintertime, don't you think? People be
Can
inside
you,
more.
Can you tell people to tap their screen and like?
Like us, please. You'll have to tap your screen, GD says. Send us the likes so that our algorithm thinks we're good. Or people like us,
Yes.
and
You don't
puts
have
us
to
up.
like us, but like that little thing on your.
Right,
Yeah.
you like that thing on your phone. So the interesting thing was the best audience we ever had was
Super
Bowl
Bowl
Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Mhm.
Isn't that bizarre?
It
It
is.
was last minute.
Yeah, last minute
Didn't plan
live. We had 1,600 people.
It's because horse people don't care about the Super Bowl.
Oh no! And I could just see it. They'd gone with their family somewhere. The rest
They're
of the
bored
family
out of their mind.
bored out of their gourd, watching a bunch of idiots kick a piece of pigskin around the field and not having a clue what's going on. So they get on their phone and they watch a live
Yeah.
on the horse nutrition. Yeah.
Savannah says hello.
Hello,
Hi,
Savannah. How are
Savannah.
you doing? Where are you these
Still
days?
in Hawaii?
Are you still in Hawaii?
Well, she was 2 weeks ago.
So,
Uh-huh.
Probably.
Yeah. Are you enjoying it?
Yep.
Cool. Cool. It's like having a friend week. We get to know who these people are. Yeah.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Right. That's always the case.
Hatfield, you want to talk for a bit?
Yeah, I'll make something up.
Yeah. Yeah. If
Tell
not-
us about any interesting horses you have in for training or any projects.
Gosh, I mean, it's just all the same thing, really. Nothing new, really. Ask me a question.
Yeah. Send Philip a question. He needs a management or handling question.
Yeah.
No, a behavioral management, behavioral training question.
Well, I need the other part too.
So nothing interesting come through your barn in the last month or so?
Oh.
Not that he could talk about in public.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's nothing new that I haven't seen. But yeah, it would be very, eye-opening to see the whys and wherefores of when a horse is started and why they weren't, or, all of those factors that play into that, and the expectations, and sometimes just those basic little things are eye-opening, especially for new horse owners.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much the others, but yeah. So nothing. That's just just your basic trying to keep them on 4 feet rather than 2 when they've never understood how to come forward off pressure, because somebody will lead them and then the horse stops and so do they. So it just begins to get instilled in them when there's something that spooks them. They just kind of learn to, instead of going forward into contact, they go away from it. So,
Right, duck away.
Yeah. So if, the whole old concept that I think Ray's dad used to talk about, if a horse will, if you can manage, he didn't say it quite like this, but this is what he meant. If you can manage a horse's feet on the ground, you can manage it, then they'll work with you in the saddle the same way. And so it's very important to have control of the feet, be leading them by footfall, just like you would ride them by footfall. It's no different. So getting control of the feet and getting them balanced on the ground where they can function in a relatively calm manner is no different than you learning to ride by footfall on their back. So that's kind of what we've got like 3 in there like that, where they have no idea. They'll drop their shoulder, look at something, spooks them, and run somebody over. Those types of things, because the person's been sitting there, petting on whatever. The horse looks over there and they go, no problem. They back up and they pet them some more. The horse moves over here, and they just automatically learn. It's just a young foal that they're basic, if there's, to not recognize the human as any part of their herd, to move them. So they just automatically learn to move the human. And then they get to be 1,200 pounds, and suddenly it's like this is something wrong with this animal. We need to send it off for training, So that could have been nipped in the bud as early as when it was dried off,
It's
just
300 pounds, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you go to pet a horse and it's cute when they're babies and you're just kind of, we're all around the baby and you're petting. And when you do that, instead of just petting the baby and then when he decides to leave and he leaves your hand as you're petting him, he learns to move away from pressure. So if you just something simple, it's just, while you're petting him, have your hand on the other side and he goes to leave, he kind of runs into your fingers. And the moment he softens off of it, you open your hand, he learns to move off of that and then leave. Same thing if he were to lean into you, just something as basic as that while you're petting and you had your hand up and he goes to push against you. You'd just be ready to maybe to drop your thumb and let him soften to your thumb with no pressure at all. And as soon as it goes away, the pressure comes off, pet him one more time, send him off. So he learns to move from the human, in a respectful way rather than just,
Push humans
pushing
around.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we've got horses that are full grown now that have never understood that concept because they have different personalities. And, a lot of people say, well, this horse is really pushy. And, and it may not be a dull horse that you would assume is the pushing one is the dull one. A lot of times it's not the dull one. It's the reactive ones. So the horse isn't pushy. He's reactive. And the human made him pushy by not knowing how to handle him on the ground. That's our fault, So, we've got 4 or 5 like that right now. That are going to manifest into nice horses, hopefully.
Given time.
Given time, yeah.
All right, we got a question.
All right. For Malinda or me?
You.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Kendall Dunoyer is asking, I have a senior Shetland in spring. Give her 24/7 hay and some alfalfa senior mix each day. Any advice?
Is there any particular problem? Is she fat, thin, underweight, overweight? Is she just right? Hard to give advice if I don't know what the issue is that you're dealing with. Hay and a little bit of senior is fine for an elderly Shetland. Don't feed them too much. I mean, assuming it's a Shetland, she's probably good body shape, good body score. Watch her weight. Don't feed her too much of the sweet feed. Maybe a mineral balancer pellet would be better than the senior feed, but depends on her body score. So let us know what her body score is.
Savannah says I'm about to get ready to work.
All right, Savannah, go defend us from whatever. She's in the army. The army? I think the army, right, Savannah?
Kendall says, sorry, ran out of words, LOL. She came very underweight and still is. The vet says to just keep feeding.
Yes, I mean, just give it time. I don't know how long you've been doing this, but you can't put weight on horses very quickly. You have to give them time and let them build up slowly. So as long as she's eating fine and she's not got diarrhea and she's not got any metabolic issues, just keep feeding.
How much in Shetland, I guess, is small, but your average horse, how much should they gain every week or month?
Why is it not like humans?
Why is it not like humans? Yes, we can gain way quicker than horses. It's hard to give you exact numbers, but I think in terms of percentage of body weight, she's going to eat around 2% of her body weight per day. You should be gaining about a percentage every 3 to 4 weeks. So if she started out at 200 pounds, in 3 weeks, she'll be 220 pounds. And then in 4 weeks, in 6 weeks, she'll be 240 pounds. You're adding about a percentage every month.
That's 10%. Yeah.
Not 20.
Oh, because she's 200, not 2,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe 220, 10% of her body weight. It's different in the little ones. The big ones, of course, you've got so much more thing. But as long as they're eating to capacity on good, nutritious food, you can't give them any more anyway. The only thing you can do is change the feed for something higher calorie. When you might want to add some high fat feeds, that may be the trick. Add some rice bran or flaxseed to raise the fat level of what she's eating so that she consumes the same amount of feed, but that the calories going in are slightly higher.
She's still very thin. I've had her since April.
That's 4 months. And when you say very thin, do you know the Henneke body score scale? Google it if you don't know it. Henneke, Henneke, Dr. Henneke at Texas A&M. He set up a body score scale, and it's a visual for assessing condition on horses. And I'm assuming she's a 4 or under if you say she's skinny. Ideally, a horse should be a 5 or a 6. So if she's, a 2 or a 3, then she's a little thinner than you want. A 4, she's on the right track, and a 5 or a 6 is ideal. 7 or an 8, you're getting chunky.
They have some flaxseed in the senior mix that she gets already.
Right, but you can add extra if you needed to, if you wanted to raise the calorie content, or you could add oil to it. But you've only had her 4 months. You won't gain a lot of weight in 4 months. 6 to 8 months, you should start to see the difference.
We'll get back to Kendall in a second.
Yeah.
Nathalie Rushalow asks, hello, can you explain what you said about oats earlier?
Can I explain what I said about oats? What did I say about oats?
Oh,
Oats are higher. They have a thick seed coat that is slippery. And if the oats are intact, they're not rolled or crimped or crushed, the oats themselves slip by each other. They don't stick. The seed coat is very slippery. And so the oats move along very well. Now, when they're rolled or cracked or crushed, the problem with that seed coat is that it impedes digestion. If you roll them or crack them or crush them, you crack open the seed coat, and that lets the digestive enzymes get into the kernel. That makes them more digestible, but they're still slippery. They still move along fine. And therefore, then they're less likely to set up an impaction in the small intestine or in the large intestine, as some feeds do. Oats are the safest for this reason. They're the least likely to cause colic. So that's the thing about oats.
Well, it's a good thing to know too from a medical background on that, because a lot of people in back in the day, the whole oat or the one that wasn't crimped would actually, and maybe it's because of that coating, would produce like a little more saliva. So
Yes.
everybody thought, well, we want that one because it'll go down. But
Right.
it was for the wrong reason.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And actually the digestibility is going to come from it being broke open.
Slightly broken open,
Yeah.
right. And of course, the highest digestibility are the cooked crimped oats. So they're the ones who've been passed through hot steam, and they're cooked. And so they're even more digestible because the starch has been cooked. However, they don't keep as well. So the farms don't cook their oats because they're storing them in big silos. They don't want insects or pests or mold to get access. And then they take off what they need to feed, and they roll it at the time of feeding. They don't usually have the facilities to cook it. Cooking is something that happens in big feed mills. But cooked crimped oats are another feed that is very good. In terms of safety, whole oats are still the safest. Feed value, cooked oats are the highest. Any more questions?
Kind of dead tonight. Well, we never do these on Saturday.
Yeah, we don't usually do a Saturday night, and I'm sure everybody has much better things to do
Yeah,
on
I
a
didn't
Saturday
realize
night.
that either. Yeah, Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night. It's somebody else's fault. We show them nameless that we
I know.
can't do Sunday.
I'm sorry.
I don't
It
know.
wasn't my choice.
Oh, no. We know. That's all right. We will forgive you, Dee Dee.
That makes perfect sense. I didn't think about that.
Most of it's logic.
I
Tanya
don't have a lot of that.
is back, and she says, hey, it's me again. My horse's leg is looking really good.
Good job. All right. Remind us the issue with your horse's leg. I'm sorry to be so
I
bad.
think that was the one that had the cut, and we were talking about how some things like hydrogen peroxide.
Okay. Your horse had a cut on its
yeah.
leg. All right.
Mhm.
Near
Was that
spring.
last week or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks
2
ago.
weeks ago?
We didn't do it last
Yeah, she
week.
cut her leg on a culvert.
Right.
Mhm.
Horses have an infinite capacity for self-mutilation. And the other thing about horses is the probability of self-mutilation is in direct proportion to their value.
Sometimes not.
Someone- Oh.
We have our first question on YouTube.
Oh, a question on
Oh, nice.
YouTube. Exciting.
It's this one.
All right.
Farrell J says, I have a 12-year-old Knob Stropper mare.
Oh,
I board. She is fed hay twice a day, grain once a day, Nutrina 15% fiber, 14% protein, 8% fat. Vet says she is chunky.
Well,
6'5".
Well, she's a Knopstrupper. That's a kind of given, yeah.
So I upped the exercise, but is there anything I can do feed-wise?
Oh, you could reduce the grain a little bit. I would not reduce the hay. Leave the hay at the same amount. Maybe give her less grain. But, you know, Knopstruppers are not by nature skinny horses. I have breed them. So anyway, where are you, by the way? And what's the name and the breeding of your Knopstrupper? I always want to know these things.
More work.
More work, yes.
Well,
But
you know something about that breed.
I know something about the breed. They are very good
Easy
doers. They're
keepers, yeah.
easy keepers. And being chunky is a standard situation with an Knopstrupper. So, yeah, reduce her grain a little bit. Don't reduce her hay.
User 47182 asks, are there any feeds you recommend?
Depends what it is you're feeding. Hay, good hay, vitamin mineral balancer pellet. That's my recommended feeding for most classes of horses. Now, some horses, lactating mares, growing foals, that kind of stuff, may need more than that. But most mature horses, not in hard work, hay and a mineral balancer pellet is all they need. Knopstrupper, hay and a mineral balancer pellet is all they need.
Farrell says she's in Denver and her horse is ECA Petroglyph.
Okay. I bred that filly. Well, I didn't. I shipped the semen. Now I can't remember the name of the stallion. Ecuador. I believe Ecuador is the sire of that filly. If it's not Ecuador, it's Rivaldi, but I'm pretty sure it's Ecuador. Yeah, so she's an Arab cross, so she's getting good doing genes from both sides. Sorry, she's going to be a chunk. Good luck getting weight off her. Yeah, Petroglyph. Yes.
Do you just know every Knopstrupper
In
the
America.
world?
Yeah,
Most.
Probably most. Yeah.
What's more impressive is that part of your brain that's enhanced that lets you store that information. Because, you know, there's
I don't store all of
The
it.
sire was Pegasus von Niehaus Hoff.
Okay.
Knopstrupper.
Oh, she's his Pegasus daughter. All right. That was Diane Truxillo's stallion. Yes. Wonderful stallion. In fact, Padrain is by Pegasus.
that's what I was going to ask you was,
Yeah.
you know, what was that cross? So,
Yeah. Padrain was Pegasus out of a thoroughbred.
Okay.
And she's not exactly skinny
Or thoroughbredy looking.
or thoroughbredy looking. There's not much thoroughbred in her, but
And
she's
the
half
dam
thoroughbred.
was ECA Mood Ring.
Yes. Yes, that would be an Arabian. Right. Or maybe that was at herself. Mood Ring, I think, was a Knopstrupper cross. I think Mood Ring is the one that's by Ecuador.
She said, yeah, she has a lot of Arabian blood, though she is a Knopstrupper.
Right. She's 3/4 Knopstrupper, quarter Arabian, which makes her a Knopstrupper. All right.
I'm
Good
right.
for you. Yay. Knopstruppers rule, okay?
Knopstrupper. I've
Knopstrupper.
got to get that because I
You
know
don't have to say Knopstrupper. I do that to annoy people. It's actually Knopstrupper.
Knopstrupper.
Yeah, Knopstrupper. The K is supposed to be silent.
Knopstrupper.
But my-
User 4718 says, I have a young Holsteiner gelding. He's in full work. He's a jumper, and I'm feeding Purina Altium.
Good. Is there a question or just observation?
No, that was the one that was asking if you have any feed recommendations.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good. The best quality hay. Purina Altium is a good feed. Very good feed, especially for a working horse. It's got a high fat content. So it would be very good for a jumper. Yeah. I would recommend it. You're already doing it. Okay. No other? No comeback on the YouTube?
Good to know it's approved. Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah. Tell Mary Beth Gordon, who works at Purina, that her feed is okay.
She's still there.
Yeah. Mary Beth is still working for Purina.
Who are those ladies we met down at Welly at Tribute? Are they still working for Tribute?
I don't know. Who was that? Remind me who that was.
Or their names?
I don't remember. I know Mary Beth because I see her every year every other year at the ESS meeting, the Equine Science Society meeting. She's in Ocala. She lives in Ocala, but the Purina's research facility is St. Louis. So Missouri. Quite a trek, yeah. They've done some interesting work on biomes, on the biome, Purina. Several interesting papers at ESS
Like what?
about the biome, on the bacteria.
What did they find?
They found a certain bacteria that can survive pelleting, which is quite an achievement because most of the bacteria that are present in the biome don't survive going through a pellet mill. And found one that did, and that was very useful because now they can incorporate it in pelleted feeds, which will help. Because one of the problems with pelleted feeds is they don't have any natural bacteria.
Take the little chapstick away from Melyni. There you go.
I'm not allowed to, what's it? What do they call it?
Fiddling with it right next to the microphone.
Oh,
So what did they? Anything else?
what the usual range of, improved feeds. This feed produces value. This, they're a commercial feed production company, so they're always looking to make a better product or a more marketable product. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's just better marketed.
Tanya says, if my mare Indy is running around, bucking probably is what she was trying to say. Can I ride her like just walking under saddle, even though she is cut, even though her leg's cut? So she's feeling good in the pasture.
Oh, okay. She's running around the pasture
trying to say.
bucking. Can she ride it? A little bit depends where the cut is. If the cut is over a joint, I wouldn't. In fact, I wouldn't even be turning her out. If the cut is not over a joint, if it's not a moving part, yeah, you could ride her, and she's not lame on it. If she's not limping, ride her.
You can stay on the buck.
Well, yeah, you can stay on the buck. That's the other thing. Yeah, be careful. Don't get bucked off.
No, it's on the front of her back leg. So like
Yeah,
gasket stuff.
Gaskin?
I think? Or
Yeah.
stifle?
gasket below the stifle. Yeah, it depends how much it moves. And if she opens it up bucking around the pasture, don't ride her. But if she can run around the pasture bucking and the wound doesn't open and bleed, then yeah, get on her.
She said she has
Just
a
heard the
really
wind
nice
pick
buck.
up.
A really nice buck, meaning a high buck. Yeah, it's
Oh,
raining.
that's what it is.
Just by way of a change, it's raining because it never does that in Virginia. Right.
Yeah.
There it is.
Here, rain on the roof.
It
See?
wasn't supposed to rain at all today.
Oh, well, according to my phone, it was going to rain. I
Again,
know. More grass. More grass.
we didn't have rain
These
for
are-
4 days.
That's okay. I haven't
No,
watered my
too.
plants yet, so no, I don't need to.
It rained 2 days ago.
Oh, that's right.
It's just such an extreme the last 2 years. It's
Oh.
either a drought.
We're
Yes,
either
it's
we're
not
either
windy.
no grass and it's brown, or it's green and
Yeah.
gorgeous.
So then you have loose shoes
Okay.
on both counts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
User 4718 asks, what do you think about alfalfa pellets versus cubes?
I personally prefer the cubes, but it's whatever's easiest to get hold of and most reliably supplied. The nutritionally, there's not that much difference between them. However, the cubes have slightly longer fiber, so therefore they may satisfy the need to chew better. Cubes need to be fed soaked. Pellets can be fed dry.
And you can probably break a cube open and make sure it's actually alfalfa.
Right, you can break a cube open and make sure it's alfalfa.
Can you tell people to like the video?
Like the videos, please, people. If you need lots and lots of likes, lots of likes, do it several times, do it many times.
There you go. Steve-O asks, what do you think about feeding alfalfa hay straight daily?
Fine, I do. I have a brood mare who is not gaining weight because she's lactating like a dairy cow. She gets 2 flakes of alfalfa every day. My show horse gets a flake of alfalfa every day. Anyone who's skinny and underweight and having trouble maintaining weight, they usually get a flake of alfalfa a day. The fatsies, no, they don't need it. Padrain does not get hay, alfalfa hay. Katie gets alfalfa hay.
Your thoroughbred gets alfalfa. No.
Yes, Katie does. Because she was a little skinny coming
And
off
she's
that farm.
exactly the same.
Mhm.
Katie?
No difference with the alfalfa or not.
She's just well behaved, yeah. She's just a good girl. I think Dee Dee
She
should just
was
buy
really
her.
fun to jump the other day.
She was
Like,
a good
she-
girl.
Tanner's coming along.
It is,
It
and
is.
she really tries. And when she figures
did-
it out, she's like, "Oh."
On the video,
got
you'll
it."
see her. She'll come around the curve. She'll jump the jump, and she does a flying change in the air and lands on the correct lead to
Yeah.
go to the left.
She gets her leads right.
Yeah.
If unless she gets
Distracted.
I don't want to say it's like negative. It's not negative anxious. She just gets like, if she's unbalanced, she's like, okay, let me just rush into it and really try. And so you have to like make her wait and be less anxious. She's just like really excited to do the thing,
Right.
which is good, but then there's
She
like a line there. Like,
Right.
but yeah, she definitely knows her leads.
And she jumped well. She was very quick to pick that up.
Yeah.
Cantered
Mhm.
around the jumps at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good girl.
She likes cantering.
Very important gait.
I know. I was gonna take her out and do a lap at the canter out on the trails. And then you texted me and I was like, oh, okay.
All right.
We did a whole trotting.
Yeah, I saw you trot past.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, she's being ridden right now."
There she
Uh-huh.
goes. Toot, 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 toot.
I was like, I think today is the day I can actually canter her because she was like,
She
moving
cantered when
right.
she did cross country.
Mhm.
Cantered
Oh
when-
yeah, for sure. I've cantered her outside, but not
Yeah.
like alongside the roads yet
Right.
by myself.
Don't do it bareback with 2 golden retrievers, please.
I
I'm not planning to.
she'd probably be the same. Why?
Oh, because that drives me crazy.
Oh. Tanya says, all my horses are out on pasture all day, have constant water in the summer with a lock tub.
Whatever that is.
In the winter, they get alfalfa flakes, good hay, and oats. I asked her what a lock tub is. How do I teach my horse to jump, not professionally, but just to be able to jump over bigger locks? That would be a question for Malinda.
Oh,
Yeah.
how do you teach your horse to jump? Well, you start with small things like poles on the ground, and you build up to that and make sure that they're not getting too rushy. Like you want to like do poles on the ground until it's like boring to them. And then you can trot over a cross rail and then do that until it's boring. And then you can make it a little bit bigger. And eventually you start out trotting all the jumps, and then maybe they'll jump, and then maybe they'll canter afterwards, and that's fine. And then you can start cantering jumps, and then you can start doing trot pole work, and then trot grid work, and then there's canter grid work. I mean, there's a million different combinations of gymnastics that you can work on, and this is like you can find it online and find videos and all that
But
kind
the
of
trick
stuff.
is
But
start small
yeah,
and do it until they're bored.
yeah,
Do not rush into putting the jumps up.
no, they
Make
want
sure-
you
yeah.
want them to be confident, quiet, and like you're going over something and they're just like, oh, this is a piece of cake. Don't overface them and don't rush them into a jump so that they get anxious and like scared of it and scared to do the wrong thing or something. So like quiet,
Right.
calm, confident. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
You
confidence
can lunge
comes,
them over jumps. You
Right.
can
Remember,
can do a lot
confidence
of
comes
things like
from
that.
successful practice. So they successfully do the little things enough, they'll get confident. You can make them a little bit bigger, and then they continue
Yeah.
to do as confidently, successfully. You can make it a little bit bigger, and gradually you work your way up.
And if you're jumping, like you gradually add in things like flower boxes or something that looks a little different or different shape or weird colors or things
Right.
like that.
And you start doing jumps in sequence. Once they're
Mhm.
confident,
Did you ever have one that was really difficult to train to go over fences?
Not
I have had a
really.
couple,
I
couple that
mean-
we just plain gave up. I mean, the thing you have to understand with horses and jumping, some
they're going to
horses,
have natural.
yeah,
some horses have
are
natural ability.
jumpers and some are not. So, for example, Sugar, the mare I ride, did dressage, FEI level, almost Grand Prix. She is the world's worst jumper. You not jump Sugar. She just kind of like goes, I don't know what to do, and flings herself onto the landing side and might put her feet out to land on her feet, or maybe not, as the case might be.
Years ago, I had somebody else's quarter horse. His name was Jack, who was a good, solid horse. Like, he wasn't going to do anything horrible or naughty, but he could not jump. I mean, he could, but it was awful. Like, he would go up to a fence, go straight up in the air, legs hanging like this, and then come straight down. But I didn't know anything at the time, and I was jumping him like probably 2.5 feet, and I'm just
Wow.
like, hang on, because I knew he wasn't a bad horse. He had a good heart, but he had no ability
No ability, yeah.
whatsoever.
She just wants to train hers to go over stuff on trail rides.
Right,
Yeah.
start with poles on the ground and work
Yeah.
your way up, and do it regularly, and then
And if you're gonna do things on the trail like a log or something, you can start with a bitty log that a horse can walk over.
Right.
So if you walk them over it a bunch of times so that they realize that it's not a scary thing. Because sometimes if you trot or canter up to something new and they've never jumped it, they're like, ah. So
go
if
slow.
it's small enough, they can walk over, like, do that until they build their confidence up to actually jumping.
She's jumped over ditches.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, that's a start.
Well, yeah.
They're usually a big problem for many horses. So, yeah.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I think
Yeah.
people make ditches a bigger
Right.
problem than
The
horses.
horse can do the ditch. Yeah, it's the Hugh rider who goes, ah.
Yeah.
She said, by accident. All right. We want to wrap up the question.
All right. Any more? We're about to wrap up, people. I'm glad you came. Enjoyed it. Thank you for listening. Please send us your last questions. We're going to, quit this clam bake and finish. So send us your last questions. We're about to go.
What was that lady's background that was wanting to jump?
Oh, she just wanted a trail horse. She was a
Okay.
trail rider. Wanted to just go over things on the trail.
I got you. So,
Yeah.
so that's why y'all didn't go into like flat work.
Yeah,
Stuff
just
with
go
it.
slow.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We're not like Mike Penn. Crank it to 3'3".
I don't know. I mean, some of those
Well.
cowboy challenges, they require the horse to jump at least 2.6.
Right.
Oh, we do. We jump. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff at the bottom. Not
If
we,
I-
I mean, our,
The
at
thing that
farm.
impresses me the most with that is that they're doing it in a Western saddle.
On usually a pony.
Right. Well, ponies can jump.
Well, they're pony quarter horses.
Yeah, they're
They're
pony-sized quarter horses. But what I'm impressed is that they're able to do it on the saddle with a honking great horn in the front, and you can't bend forward.
Well, we do raise our stirrups up before we start
Good.
that process.
Well, people also lean way unnecessarily.
Oh yeah, way too much. But still, I wouldn't want to be jumping across country with a saddle with a horn in front of me.
And we don't do it like now. Like back in the day, we would be out somewhere and lay our coat over like a cable and silly stuff. But we didn't know anything about balance back then either. So
Right.
now, we don't do any jumping until the horse is like more balanced. And
Right. That usually is safer.
yeah.
Yeah.
She said it was where I crossed through when she jumped the ditch. I was scared, but she's a good cow horse. She's not a trail horse. She also says, I don't know how people can stay on an English saddle.
I jumped this one Irish horse one time that it wasn't mine, but it was a friend of mine had him. And he jumped so high, like his withers hit me in the chest. And I wasn't like leaning way over, but his withers came up that
Right,
high. And I was
lifted.
like, I'm like, did he just hit me in the chest? And my friend Andrew was like, yeah, he does that to me too.
Wow. Yeah,
Really
that'd be
vast
difficult.
skills.
Yeah.
That's why the horn sticking there.
But
Yeah.
he was a really, really well-bred Irish show jumper who was retired from competing, but still as a breeding stallion, they were using him. And then Andrew's like, you got to jump this one.
Right. Sound amazing. Are we done?
No, it's just every hour TikTok asks me to solve a puzzle to prove that I'm still on the screen.
Prove that you're a
so you
human.
don't just
Oh, wait a
leave
minute.
it
Do you also on the
running.
screen?
Yeah, no, I get it, because people will probably just use the platform and not actually be around, right?
Yeah. Or they just leave it running for some
Well, I'm out of grape
whatever
juice.
reason.
I guess we'll have to quit now because I need more grape juice.
My screen's not on you, so
Okay.
you're off the hook.
And I'm not drinking.
Well, I think it was good. It was goodish.
Goodish. Goodish. Well, we got someone on YouTube.
Yeah.
Our first YouTube person.
We're not going to be here next Sunday.
Not going to be here next Sunday, people.
We have to go to the aria, Queen of the Night.
Okay, we're going to the Queen of the Night
Oh.
aria next Sunday. Sorry,
Sunday?
What is
a
that?
musical. It's a music thing that Judy said.
So probably in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. See y'all in
I
2
won't
weeks.
be
Memorial
here in
weekend?
2
No,
weeks.
that's the 23rd weekend.
Where will
Labor
you
Day
be? You'll be in
in
Montana.
Labor Day.
All right.
Labor Day.
Labor Day
weekend.
weekend, yeah.
I'm shutting it off. Say
All right,
bye.
goodbye.
Bye.
God bless. Have a good time. Whatever.
Wait, what?
I know. What a
Dee Dee
stupid,
malfunctioned for a second.
what a stupid thing to say. What can I say?
Well, I know there's probably a lot of viewers that appreciate that.
I did not. I was like, wait,
What?
That's
What
fine.
is she doing? None of you's an atheist, and she's saying God bless.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, she's never hurt anyone. Here, you want to hear?
Do you want to take us off to YouTube? Are we still on YouTube?
There's no one on YouTube. So.
We're at in Montana.